Hello bikers and bike enthusiasts, I hope you're doing wonderful today. Welcome to Bearded Outlaw. This is Arvin, and today I'm going to be telling you the process of how I went from getting my motorcycle license to getting this very sexy Yamaha YZF R3. This is going to be the process of how it works here in Illinois, and I say here in Illinois because each state is a little bit different. It is now the time of year when the weather should be getting warmer and you're gonna start seeing a lot of motorcycles out on the road. Unfortunately, this is as far from reality as possible because here it is absolutely freezing. I am wearing a winter jacket right now and my fingers are absolutely numb. Boys and girls, this is Northern Illinois for you. I wanted to make this video of what I went through to get my motorcycle license because I feel that information about motorcycle is not common knowledge, as the number of people who ride motorcycles is few compared to the number of people who drive cars here in the United States. The first part is getting your motorcycle license. There are two ways you can go about doing this. The first way is to take an MSF course, which is a motorcycle safety course. I would say that this is the best way to do it. There's a $20 registration fee and the course lasts about 3 days. The course that I was supposed to take was supposed to meet on a Thursday evening for about 4 hours, then all day Saturday and Sunday. This MSF course will practice parking lot maneuvers. They will go over the tests that you will be performing in the DMV and then a couple of other extras. So if you don't have a motorcycle license yet, or if you have a motorcycle license already but you've never taken the course, I highly recommend you do this because you could learn something new. You're also going to get a discount from your insurance company for having taken this course. Another perk of taking the MSF course is when you go to the DMV to get your motorcycle license, you do not need to do the riding test there. Unfortunately, because of the COVID-19 pandemic, my MSF class got canceled and my $20 got refunded. Because I couldn't take the MSF course, I went with option number 2. So the second way to get your motorcycle license is to go through the DMV. The first step is to get your motorcycle permit. It is what I thought a very easy 15-question multiple choice exam on the computer. The exam will automatically stop if you get 12 questions right. Once you pass that test, you can get your motorcycle permit. Now, one thing you have to pay attention to when you're riding with a motorcycle permit is the laws in your state. When I got my permit, I had a lot of misinformation from a lot of different sources. Some people say that you can ride solo. Some people say you cannot ride solo. Even the people in the DMV were a bit confused. According to the rules of the road book here in the state of Illinois, if you are riding with a motorcycle permit, you need to be accompanied by a rider who has had a motorcycle license for over a year, and they have to be on a motorcycle as well. They also should be over 18. Different states have different laws. I know up in Wisconsin, you can ride solo with a permit as long as you have your helmet on and it is within daytime. So refer to your rules of the road book, know the laws before you get out on the road. After getting my permit, I started practicing for the 4 tests that they will give you at the DMV. The DMV has 4 parts to the riding test, and after getting my motorcycle permit, I started practicing this. The first test is a weave test where there are cones on the ground and you weave in and out without hitting the cones. The next test is where you make a right turn from a stop, then you make a U-turn and then you stop in a box. This part was a little challenging for me because the place where you make the right turn was on an uphill slope. It was not that big, but when you're starting from a standstill and when you're trying to make a right turn, it's easy to lose your balance. The third part was a braking test where you start from a standstill, you accelerate to about 15 to 20 miles an hour, and then once you get to a line, you hit the brakes and you try to come to a stop as soon as possible. And the fourth and final test is a swerve test where again you start from a standstill and you accelerate, and when you get to a point you either swerve left or right to avoid an obstacle. You swerve left or right depending on what the person tells you. When you complete these 4 tests successfully, they will send you home with a temporary paper license which you can use until the state mails you your license with an M endorsement. That's the process of how I got my motorcycle license. Once I got my motorcycle license, it was time for me to do my motorcycle shopping. Now, this was pretty straightforward. You can go to a dealership or look online. I went through Facebook Marketplace and CycleTrader.com. I was looking for this Yamaha R3, and because I wanted a really good deal, I was even looking at nearby states. I noticed that the motorcycles up in Wisconsin were about $800 to $1,000 cheaper than the ones in. So I called up a bunch of dealerships up in Wisconsin to try to find the best price. Now this is where I got frustrated. It was infuriating because when I called these dealerships, the price they were quoting me was a lot higher than the price advertised on the website. It turns out that the factory sends the motorcycle to the dealership in parts. The dealership then assembles it there and then they sell it. The dealership then passes the cost of delivery and assembly on to the customer. This was something that I wasn't planning on, as it was messing up with my budget, and so I got really upset. At first, I thought this was a scam, and I called up a bunch of other dealerships. They all said the same thing. So in the end, I had to come to terms with it. I had to accept that it was what it was. And so one weekend, I rode up to Wisconsin, and I picked up this motorcycle. So remember, when I got this motorcycle, I have never taken a motorcycle on the road before. So I was very nervous. I practiced in the parking lot for about 15 minutes. Then I took it out on the road and did a couple laps around. After doing a couple laps, I thought I should try to ride it home. I honestly wasn't expecting to ride it all the way home. I thought I would ride it a few blocks and then I would have to take it back to the dealership, and then they would have to deliver the motorcycle to my house. But after riding a few blocks on the road, I felt just fine. I felt confident enough to ride the bike all the way back home. I wasn't going to take the motorcycle on the highway, so I took the back roads to come back home. The 90-minute ride up to the dealership ended up taking around 3 hours with the back roads. That was probably my worst ride ever because it was so cold that day. I was freezing, and after I came home, it took me about an hour to warm up. So, boys and girls, that is the process that I went through to get my permit, then my license, and then my motorcycle. So what do I think about my motorcycle after having put 1,000 miles on it? I love it. Should you get a motorcycle? Absolutely. Are people going to tell you you're crazy? Definitely. But I say don't listen to them. If you're really thinking about getting a motorcycle, don't hesitate. Just go ahead and do it. It is really fun, and when you're riding a motorcycle, it's just you and the elements, and I swear to God, it is really therapeutic. It's nothing like driving a car. A lot of people are going to tell you that motorcycles are dangerous and you're going to end up killing yourself, but I really don't think that motorcycles are that dangerous. In many countries in Asia, motorcycles are a way of life. It is a primary mode of transportation. I just think you need to respect the motorcycle. You need to know your limits, know the motorcycle's limits, ride within them. Don't do anything stupid, and I think you'll be just fine. So everyone, this is what I went through to get my motorcycle. I hope this video answers any questions you guys might have had. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. With that, everyone, I am going to end the video right here. I hope all of you are staying safe. Remember, you don't stop riding because you get old. You get old because you stop riding. So don't stop.